I've been wanting to do a vampire run in Oblivion for a while now, but doing a reverse remaster of my Dracula run didn't seem fun to me, so I used all 4 of my brain cells to come up with another one. Can you beat Oblivion as Elizabeth Báthory? If you don't know who she is, I'll give you a quick rundown, but I'll leave a timestamp on the screen now for you to skip it if you want to. Elizabeth Báthory was a Hungarian noblewoman from the esteemed House of Báthory during the 16th and 17th century, and also allegedly the most prolific serial killer of all time, with a victim count of 650 young women and girls. I say allegedly because it's disputed as to whether or not she actually committed the crime she was accused of, as some historians believe the accusations to be a witch hunt against her and her family's name. Now, I can't go into massive detail about some of her crimes because Daddy YouTube doesn't like gory details, but the things she did would give Art the Clown a run for his money. After the accusations against her came out, there were a lot of rumours cropping up about her. Some people believed her to be a vampire, some even claimed to have witnessed her having intimate relations with the devil himself, and the most famous rumour was that she bathes in her victim's blood to keep her young, like an R-rated version of the Fountain of Youth. This led to her being given the nickname the Bloody Countess. Whether or not the story of Elizabeth Báthory is true, it makes for a very interesting tale. The rules for this run are as follows. I'm only allowed to feed on women, I'm only allowed to kill women, and I have to kill everyone I feed on. Any NPC that doesn't have a defining gender is exempt from the killing rule. There is a boss that's also exempt from this rule, but more on him in a bit. Let's get started. Luckily for me, Oblivion's character creator makes it incredibly easy to make characters based on a 16th century portrait. After raising my sneak skill a little bit in my cell, Emperor Picard uses it as an escape route. Shortly after following him, his party gets ambushed by the Mythic Dawn. But I can't attack them because this party is full of sausages. Lucky for me, I do get to take out some frustration on some rats. Goblins are a different story though, because this goblin witch is clearly female, and also the only one in the game. So with there being a female variant, I can't kill the regular ones. I meet back up with the group and pick my star sign. I chose the thief sign because for the most part, I need to focus on stealth. Otherwise, getting access to the wine of the veins will prove to be difficult. After Emperor Xavier gives me his bling and gets his bucket kicked, I make a custom class and named it the Bloody Noble. After escaping the sewers, my first objective is to become a blood-sucking demon. So I'm off to the Barren Cave to get chomped on by some vampo wankers. After getting my arse beat for 3 minutes, I finally contract porphyric hemophilia and sleep at the Newlands Lodge until I become a creature of the night. Then I half-inch some clothes from Magrum Gra Orum's basement, head to the Imperial City, drain the blood from Jastia's meatbag body, and stab her in the neck. Then I head to Waynham Priory to continue the main quest. After speaking to Joffrey, he sends me to Kvatch to fetch the Emperor's only remaining heir. When I get there, I jump straight into the Oblivion Gate. Now, the scamps I can 100% kill because like wolves and bears, there's only one variant of them and the game doesn't specify whether they are male or female, so the run isn't void if I kill them. But I'm not sure about the Dremora, because they sound like dudes.
Burst bloodsack.
And they look like dudes, but there aren't any female variants from my experience. In the end, I decided that I wouldn't kill them, because there was too much evidence to state that they were male. After running through the Sigil Tower, I come up against a wall when I get to the Sigil Keeper, because I can't kill him directly. I tried to get the scamps to do it for me, to no avail. But in a stroke of luck, the lift killed him. So after grabbing the key, I run to the Sigil Stone, half-inch it, then I lead the lads into the city square to quell the rest of the invasion force. After watching them get their cheeks clapped, I grab Sean Bean and drag his ass back to Waynham Priory. When we arrive, we get ambushed by the Mythic Dawn again. But Mr. Bean actually proves to be quite the warrior. After he puts them 6 feet under, he rescues Joffrey, and we discover that the Amulet of Kings has been nicked. Then we head off to Cloud Ruler Temple. When we arrive, the Blades roll out the welcome wagon. Then Sean Bean uses Joffrey as a puppet. But since his mouth isn't moving, I think it's safe to assume that his hand isn't planted firmly up his arse. After this, Joffrey wants me to join the Blades, but I can't be bothered with it. Besides, I don't think the future Emperor of Cyrodiil would want a blood-feasting murderer in his ranks. After speaking to Joffrey, he tells me that finding the Amulet of Kings is of the utmost importance. So I have to go find Boris in the Imperial City to come up with a plan. When I arrive, I realise that at some point I'm going to run out of lockpicks, and I really don't want to join the Thieves Guild just to be able to buy some. And the easiest way to get them aside from that is to dupe them. So I head to the Mystic Emporium, buy a few scrolls, and duplicate them, so if I start running low on picks, I can just bend space and time to get more of them. Then I drink Marana Rian's sweet life juice, shove a sword into her spine, then take her dress as a trophy. After watching Boris put an assassin 6 feet under in one of the local watering holes, we find a book on his corpse. Then he tells me to go to the Arcane University to find out more about it. Turns out I'll need all 4 editions of it to progress our investigation, and the second and third ones are a breeze to get. Tarmina gives me the second one, and the third one I scam out of Guinness by scaring the shit out of him. But the fourth one, Jesus Christ, this one took the piss. After escorting Boris through the shit-caked sewers, we have to have a meeting with a member of the Mythic Dawn to get the 4th book, but it's in his inventory, and I can't kill him. Boris can though, but no matter how I approached the situation, he kept dying, over and over again. They even killed me a couple of times. But I came up with a plan. I waited for the sponsor to be distracted by Boris, then I pickpocketed the book from him and hightailed it out of there. After making a pit stop for a quick snack and a good old-fashioned murder, I find the location of the Mythic Dawn's gamer cave at the tomb of Prince Calamari. At this point, I started getting a tad greedy for blood, because despite me not needing to, I snuck into Borba's goods and stores, drained her dry, and sent her to Sithis. But this act of greed will definitely come back to bite me in the arse, because despite me killing her in one shot, with no witnesses, the guards outside somehow knew what I'd done. Could I reload? Yeah, but this had some spice to the run. After running from the guards, I head to Lake Arius Caverns, drop all my shit in the entrance so I don't lose it, and head into the Viper's Den undercover. Anyone who's played Oblivion before has probably tried this, but just in case you haven't, I'm going to nip it in the bud now. You can't pickpocket the Amulet of Kings from Cameron Manca because he's wearing it. So after he leaves through his portal, I half-inch their Necrocomicon, then boo-boo out of there. After running through the caves, I grab my shit, then some guards try to arrest me. Probably from the murder charges earlier. After running away, the second I step into Bruma, I'm confronted once again by the guards. This time, I decided to go with them to jail. I did try to escape, but no matter how I approached it, I was constantly getting caught. So in the end, I reluctantly decided to serve my time. But I got something out of it though, because I decided to break into the display cases next to the throne and steal all the katanas. After delivering the Mysterium Xarxes to Heinz Beans, I helped Joffrey get rid of some spies. Luckily, they're all female. I can't remember if this is always the case or just some god tier RNG, but I'll take it. After returning to Beans on Toast, he tells me to get a Daedric artifact for him. The easiest one to get is the one the quest tells you to, Azura's Star. Before I head off to commune with the deity though, I have another homicidal buffet. Then whilst on the way to have a chat with Azura, I come across an Oblivion Gate, and decided to run through it as fast as I can to clear it. The reason for this is because there's a chance I might get a Chameleon Sigil. And that's going to come in handy. RNGesus must have blessed me because that's the exact one I got. So I duplicate them and enchant some items for future use. Then I do some snack and slash, half-inch some glow dust from the Gilded Carafe, have a nap, then after speaking with the wolf in sheep's clothing, she sends me to clear out a local vampire den. All except one vampire in the gutted mine are female. So how did I kill the last one, you might ask? Well, I decided that since Azura's shrine is a stone's throw away, I would lead the last vampire to them so they would kill him for me. The problem is that because I had to wait around at Azura's statue to talk to her, my vampire hunger progressed to level 1. So the sun was doing damage to me. So not only was I trying to dodge his big hammer slams, but I was also trying not to die from sun exposure like an angsty teenage goth. This took me a fair few tries to pull off, but eventually he fell to the hand of the mountain tramps. I get the star, then I have to run as fast as I can back to the cave before the sun turns me into a rack of barbecue ribs. This single run was the most tense situation I've been in playing Oblivion in a long time. After making it back to the cave, I wait around to the cover of darkness, stop off at Bruma for some supper and slaughter, and after dropping off Azura's Star, I have to help Bruma deal with an Oblivion Gate. This time though, I have a troop of guards to help me, but I can't be asked to babysit them. So I just did my usual run through to grab the sigil stone. Once the gate's closed, I watch some blades train, then I have to get the armour of Tiber Septim from Sancre Tor. When I get there, I'm confronted by some skeletons. Now, skeletons are quite androgynous, so I'm going to be putting them to rest. When I get inside, I decided to test out my sneaky invisibility gear, and they work brilliantly. So I use them to sneak to the undead blades and put them down, which releases their ghosts. After gathering all the ghosts together, I'm able to nab the armor. After returning it to Pork and Beans, he tells me he needs a great Welkin stone. Before I head off to do everyone's dirty work again though, I have some breakfast with a side of death, and Glarthir glitches out on me. Then I head off to get the Wilkin stone. On the way, I shank a bandit, and when I get there, I find out that the entire place is filled to the brim with zombies and goblins, which I can't kill. So now I have to run past them all to get the stone. Which took the piss, because for some reason, despite me doing this quest every time I play for Oblivion, I always get lost in this bastard ruin. Eventually I manage to get through it, grab the fucking thing, and skedaddle. When I deliver it to the lean mean Emperor Bean, he tells me to talk the Countess of Bruma into letting the Daedra invade her land. Which was easier than it sounds. After going over the plan with Bean Burrito, we head to the Oblivion Gate outside Bruma. After getting a speech from him, all manner of hellish creatures emerge from the other side of the gate. Now I can't kill the Dremora, but I can help with the Scamps and Flame Atronax. After many waves fell to our swords, a great gate opens and I have to close it before the Daedric war machine reaches the gate. Which was quite simple. Because despite me getting smacked around like a Stella drinker's wife, I run straight to the sigil stone without stopping for anything. After grabbing the great stone, the gate closes and I make a shocking discovery. Boris lost his life in the battle. A moment of silence for this fallen hero. Alright, that's enough of that. When I return to Cloud Ruler Temple, Bean Machine starts the ritual to open the portal to Cameron's paradise so we can get the amulet back. After jumping into it, I wander around this hellish utopia until I come across Cathutet. Normally, I'd just kill him, but because of the meat and 2 veg in his pants, I opted to do his dirty work. He wants me to release a demon named Annexes, so I'm off to his lair. I don't know why this demon's so important. Any powerful entity worth their weight in french fries that's trapped by 2 wooden beams isn't worth rescuing in my opinion. After returning to Cottage Cheeseface, he gives me the key to the Forbidden Grotto, and the bands of the Chosen so I can pass through safely. Then I come across Eldermill, the Jim Browning of Oblivion. He informs me that the bands of the Chosen are a scam, because I won't be able to remove them, and as long as I'm wearing them, I'll never be able to leave the Forbidden Grotto. So he offers to help me remove them. I take a dip in the lava sauna, then I pop on my sneaking gear, and make my way to our meeting point. After watching him fry one of his colleagues, he removes my bands and tells me he wants to help me kill Cameron. I was excited to hear this, because I thought he would kill him for me, but as you'll soon find out, that wasn't the case at all. After escaping the grotto, I come across Cameron's daughter, and she leads me to her father's throne room. Now the boss fight with Cameron was an absolute shit show, because I can kill his daughter with no problems, and Eldermill can kill the other bodyguard with no issues whatsoever. But Cameron, he's the boss that's exempt from the killing rule. Now remember that the rules are I can only kill women, meaning technically I can do damage to men as long as I don't deliver the killing blow. But I only found out during this playthrough that no matter how much damage either I or Eldermin deals to Cameron, it has to be me that kills him. Because unless the player gets the last hit on him, no amount of damage done to him will put him down. And I tested this repeatedly. I don't know why Bethesda made this decision, but it's incredibly annoying. Once he's made into maggot food, I grab the amulet and give it to Bean Boy, then escort him to Downing Street. Immediately after this though, the city gets attacked by Trigon and his hordes from hell. This part is incredibly easy to get through because all I have to do is run to the Temple of the One. When we get in there, Stringbean turns into Shenron and kicks Trigon so far up his backside he can taste his socks. Then he turns to stone and Lizzie takes over Breville Castle. And with that, I beat Oblivion as Elizabeth Báthory. I absolutely loved this run. It was fun trying to figure out who lives where so I can get my daily dose of neck ketchup. And it's been a hot minute since I've played Oblivion. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe? It helps out the channel massively. Plus, if you turn on the notification bell, you get to watch more juicy content from yours truly when it releases. I also have a Discord server. The link will be in the description and in my channel bio. If you want to support me further, consider joining as a channel member. You get early access to videos and a mention in them for being such a legend. If there's a specific video you want to see, or you just want to have a chat, drop a comment down below or message the Discord server. And I'll see you next time.